Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Welcome to my Game of Thrones Legends mobile game content. So today folks, I've got another tasty one delivered up by our friend, the Digital Gandalf. The guy who rummages around in all the files and brings out those tasty little juicy tidbits for us. So today we're going to talk about something that we've found that we're really excited about, that I think is going to be really exciting for a lot of the players out there of Game of Thrones Legends. And it's going to be some new character ideas that are present in the game files. I don't have any images of the characters to share for you today, but just the fact that they are there and that they have skills fleshed out for them is just awesome, because these are, well, two of them in particular are characters that people have been asking for a long time. These are characters that people really want. The other two, I'm gonna talk about 4 different characters today. The other two are kind of related and surprising. They're somebody you probably wouldn't have ever thought about if you would have been thinking about, who can the developers add to the game that will be a big deal? It probably wouldn't have been 2 of the 4 that I'm going to talk to you about today, but after you hear their names and hear their ideas, I think you'll kind of get it with me as well, how they can fit in really super well with the game, because they are a really good match to the 2 that I was talking about that I think will be super popular. So without any further ado, let me go ahead and open up my information document that I'm using to kind of bring forth my ideas here. And obviously, as you can see, the first character is Robb Stark. We have found information that does show that he is there. We do not have any images of the character, and we do not know for sure what the faction is on any of these characters, but I think it's a pretty safe bet that Robb Stark would be a Stark. I don't think there's any other faction that he could fit in where that would work, and I think that that's just a slam dunk that he is a Stark. So coming someday, I have no clue when. I cannot make any promises as to the day or if or when. I'm just telling you that the information is there, and that's all I'm basically doing right now. But just knowing that the information is there will give people a lot of hope, because a lot of people want Robb badly. Robb is a pivotal character of the lore. He was somebody that I was kind of sad about, honestly, when the Red Wedding happened, because, without spoiling too much of it, I would have really liked to have seen Robb Stark's character fleshed out a lot more. I think it was really sad that he finally found someone that was his true love, and then all that was taken away. And I felt like we just didn't get to know Robb as much as we should have, or as much as I felt like I wished I could have, because I did like him a lot. The synergy between him and his wolf, and him and the people that he led and lived with and grew up with, it was all really good, and I would have liked to have explored him a lot more. So the first one that I am talking about, obviously Robb Stark. You can see by his skill icons that we've found that he's obviously going to be a red, because the skills usually reflect the color of the hero gem with the coloring of the hero skill. So he's obviously going to be a red. So Robb Stark, at this time in his current form of development, this could all change. I gotta keep saying that because I need people to understand this information is subjective. It is there, but we don't know for sure about anything other than it's there. Okay, so I've beat you over the head with that enough. Robb Stark is obviously at this time planned to be a red. He's obviously going to be a Stark. His leadership ability, he has a leadership ability, obviously. It's called Brave in the Face. And I really don't know which one of these 3 icons it pertains to, because they didn't really group very well with the information, so it was hard for us to tell which one of these graphics pertains to which one. But his leadership ability is Brave in the Face, and I'm going to say that that's probably this one. I'm just thinking it's this one for some reason. His passive ability is called Take His Home, and I'm going to kind of think maybe it's this one. And then his ability skill is We're Not Doing It, and I kind of think that maybe it's that one. So that's just, I know that that's kind of the 1,000-mile view on these things. I don't really have any information as to what they do or what the mechanics are that surround them, but this is the abilities as they're in their state right now. So we do know that he has the leadership ability, and obviously he has a passive and a skill like everybody else. And he's going to probably be red, probably be a Stark. So there's one other thing about him that I want to show, and that's the fact that he will have a partner synergy with someone. I do know who it is, and I will be showing that here in just a minute, but this is what his gem is in the early stages of looking like right now. You can see that it is the Stark Wolf, and it's surrounded with some bandages. So that kind of gives you a little hint right there, if you've watched the HBO show, as to who his possible synergy would be. And I think you can get that one on your own, but we'll talk about that one here in just a minute. The next one I want to talk about is Rickard Karstark. He's a green, and according to his skills, he's a green, the color of his skills. I am going to assume that he's a Stark. I felt pretty confident about Robb being a faction of the Stark. This one, I feel pretty confident that he is also the faction of the Stark, but I do not know that for sure. So I'm going to put a question mark right there and say, I don't 100% know. But he was in the lore. Rickard Karstark was a Lord of Winterfell, and he was actually Eddard Stark's father. So, I mean, I don't really know how you could put him anywhere else other than the Starks. But I do not know that for sure, so I'm going to kind of, put a question mark on that one, because anything could happen. We do know at this time that he has two abilities. We know he has an ability called In War You Kill, and I'm kind of going to land on this one as probably being the graphic for that one in its state that it's in right now. And then he has a passive ability, I Have Faith in Vengeance. I'm going to just kind of land on that one right there and think that maybe this is the graphic for it. But he is a green, so that does kind of, if he is a Stark, that's kind of an underdeveloped color in the Stark faction. You have Caitlyn as a green, and she's just so good that nobody ever really thinks of any of the other Stark greens. I mean, yes, there's Arya, and if you don't have quite a bit of Caitlyn, most people will usually fall on Arya as the green if they want to have a green in their Stark faction. So this gives the greens a little bit more depth and gives you other options as far as what to look towards. Now, I don't know the classes on any of these that I'm showing you here, but I'm kind of going to think that he's going to fall into the protector or the fighter category, one of the two. I think that that's where Rickard Karstark will be, because he was renowned for being a warrior. He met his death in his armor and trying to fight, always fighting the battles. He was a renowned warrior. So I think he's more than likely going to be a fighter or protector. I could see it going either way, but he is there. He's in the files, so hopefully the Starks will get another green to kind of round them out a little bit more if he ends up being in the Stark faction. But that's kind of what I'm thinking, and I think you'll probably agree. But as we can see, anything can happen in this game. There's crazy faction choices made that I don't really get. Like, who's a good example? Brienne of Tarth. I mean, I really don't understand why she is in the faction she's in. But yeah, that's a good example. Grey Worm is also another good example of those things that make you go, because Grey Worm doesn't really have a faction for what he truly is, but he spent the majority of the series with Dany and furthering the causes of the Targaryens. So why couldn't we put him in as a Targaryen? I really don't get that one. He was basically a sworn-in Targaryen that, would give his life for Daenerys at any moment. I don't understand that one. So yeah, that's kind of one of those faction choices that make you go, I don't know. All right, so the next one, let's go on down the list. And this one is going to kind of answer this question that I was posing to you earlier about what this partner gem was all about. And that's going to be Talisa Stark. According to her abilities, she's more than likely going to be a yellow. That coloration of these graphics is kind of not as yellow as it was in its original form, but I'm pretty sure that she is a yellow, and I do put the question mark around the faction of the Stark around her as well, because I don't honestly know that she will be a Stark. But if you look at the HBO series and you look at the story and the timeline of those episodes, you'll remember that this is the lady that Robb Stark met on the battlefield as she was tending to her healing duties as a healer, tending to wounded soldiers, and they quickly fell in love and were married. So as of the whole time we knew her in the Game of Thrones series, she was a Stark. She was Robb Stark's wife. And then, the unfortunate happened, but she was, for all intents and purposes, his wife. So why would she not be a Stark? I don't know. I can't really answer that one. If she's anything else, honestly, I couldn't answer that. One of the things that's really good about her as well is she's a yellow. And yellow is another color in the Stark faction that's kind of underdeveloped. Because you have Ghost, and then what? I mean, really, what do you got? You got Ghost. Ghost is awesome, don't get me wrong, but Ghost is kind of like the only real yellow choice you have as a Stark. So this will definitely round out the yellow option for the Starks a lot better, and I think that will be really cool. I am going to say that she is more than likely going to be a healer. It just fits with her character, and it just makes the most sense. So I'm assuming that she's going to have some healing properties about her. So she may be a good addition to your team, or she may not. It's going to be tough to fit her in because, like I said, Ghost is there, and he is a yellow, and Ghost is going to be super hard to replace in most people's parties. I'm just saying. Because Ghost hits like a Mack truck, and he's really hard to replace. So trying to figure out who to bench to put her in may be more of a challenge than anything else with this character. But the fact that Starks have more options now will help to balance out the green team, I think, a lot. And I do not know when these are coming, but I hope they're coming soon. Because we need them. We need them badly. Greens are out of control, and we need something to help us try to find a way to beat them. And this is one way that we can get that done, short of a nerf. Her lead, she does have the ability to have a leader role, and her leadership ability is called Don't Get Greedy. I'm going to say it's this one. And because obviously this one ties to the next one. So I'm going to say the leadership ability, Don't Get Greedy, is this one right here. It's the best I can really come up with. The passive for her is I Am His. And with the graphic of the 2 wedding rings here on the pillow, I think we can safely assume that this one goes to the passive. Do not have any idea what that would be about. how that would be played out in game, but it could be a situation to where if you have them both in your party, maybe the skill is stronger. I don't know, but it's tied to another person saying I am his, and that would obviously be Robb Stark. So obviously they're going to be released together, so because they're in the same content info bundle. So it would, it would be probably pretty good prediction that this plays together somehow. The hero gem selection that I showed you earlier is their gem together. They will share this synergy of this gem right here together. So Robb and Talisa will produce this. If you have a Rhaenyra in the party, that could be crazy. This gem, instead of doing damage, I'm going to predict that it probably heals in some manner. That would be really cool, because I'm not really aware that we have one that does that at this time, so that would be a really cool addition to the team, is to get some healing out of that. So that's Talisa Stark. So the first three we talked about were Robb Stark, Rickard Karstark, and Talisa Stark. And I told you at the beginning of this that there were two characters that I thought that people would really, really be excited for, that they've been asking for a lot. And then there was two that were kind of surprises that you wouldn't really think about. I think Rickard and Talisa are the two that are surprises, but then I think this one right here is going to be the other one that's just going to make a lot of people super happy, because this right here, Grey Wind, is Robb's wolf. Grey Wind is one of the dire wolves that bonded to the Starks, and you remember from the HBO series and from the books as well that each one of the Starks had their own wolf. You had Ghost, which was Jon's, Grey Wind, which was Robb's, and it just, there were many others. But the idea that some people have had of the dream of having a beast wolf, dire wolf party now becomes closer to a reality, because we see that they are willing to add some of the other dire wolves into the game. Grey Wind is obviously going to be a purple, because his skills are straight up purple, so he's going to flesh out that purple role for the beast. And in combination, we now know of two dire wolves. Ghost as yellow, Grey Wind is purple. Nymeria possibly could be another one. There's multiple choices that we could have. So the idea that people could actually form a full party of direwolves is becoming more and more reality. But I'm going to say that this one is going to be a beast. I do not know that for sure, but I don't really see why Ghost would be a beast, and he is Jon Snow's wolf. Then it would stand to reason that Grey Wind would be a beast, and he is Robb Stark's wolf. So I'm going to predict that he's going to be a beast. I do know that by the look of his skills, he's going to be purple. And he doesn't have a leadership ability, but beasts don't seem to do that because they're animals, not people. So it has a passive and a normal ability like the rest of them. His passive ability is called Death from the Shadows. I'm going to kind of assume that maybe that's this one, where it shows the wolf lunging, looks like he's jumping into an attack, possibly from the shadows. That's going to be super cool. I'm going to say that that's probably that one. And then his ability, the Unseen Hunter. This one kind of looks like he's stalking a little bit, trying to stay hidden, trying to sneak up on his prey. I'm going to say that that's probably the Unseen Hunter. So, yeah, this one is one of the ones that I thought him and Robb were going to be the really two exciting ones. The ones that were going to make the most people squee really big and say, ooh-ee, because they've been wanting Robb. They've been wanting more dire wolves. They've been asking for these things nonstop all the time. I see it in my Discord all the time. We talk about, what characters would you like to see added to the game? Nobody ever says Talisa Stark. Nobody ever says Rickard. Karstark. I mean, but they do say Robb, and they do say Grey Wind, and they do say the other dire wolves and things like that. So I think these hero leaks will make you very happy. We had Grey Wind, we had Talisa, we had Rickard, and we had the man, Robb Stark. So I think these leaks are going to make you guys very happy. Just do keep in mind, though, the frame of reference that I tried to put this all in. We know it's there, but we do not know when it's coming or if. Obviously, things can be pulled last minute or forever, or who knows. We don't know. But just the fact that they put this much effort into designing their skills and their graphics and their abilities lets us know that this is the direction they're planning on going. So this is a good direction. We like this. I think everybody that watches this video is going to be excited about this, and I think we're all going to be happy that the Starks are going to get some love, because like I said, the green team right now is in a place where they are so strong that they need something to kind of counterbalance them, because right now they're just kind of overdoing it on the game. And if you have them, you're happy. If you don't, you're not. And this will go a long way to helping balance that situation out. So I hope you liked this video today. This is food for thought. I hope this made you go, and I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, let me know in the comments what you thought. Let me know what you think about these choices. Do you think they're good? Do you think they're bad? Are you excited? Are you mad? I don't know. Let's talk about it. And if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and throw a like, and if you're interested in this content, subscribe so that you can hear more as I post it. You won't miss a single one, because I really do appreciate making this content for you, the ability to be able to do it, and I appreciate you as a viewing audience that you actually spend your time watching my content and wanting to hear what I have to say. I really appreciate that. So thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in another video about Game of Thrones Legends really soon. Peace.
Now.